Hello kids, hope you are doing well and hope you have remembered the table which I had sent. Okay, today we are going to start with the next unit of the lesson, that is, can matter change its state or not? Before we proceed, let us recall what we did in the last video. We had seen this table in the last video also, which describes the variety of properties of different states of matter. We had also seen about plasma, that is the fourth state of matter, and fifth state of matter is BEC. Okay, as if I have said that this table is extremely important from exam point of view. Those who have not completed yet, please do the needful and learn it. Okay, let us proceed with today's topic. Interchangeability of states of matter. Now, what does it mean? Interchangeability means interchanging something. That is, here we are going to see how the states of matter are changing from one phase to the other phase. Matter can change from one form to other form, that is, from solids to liquids to gases. The phenomenon of the change of matter from one state to another and back to the original state is known as interconversion of states of matter. Please remember this. We can change the physical state either by changing the temperature or the pressure. Okay, this also you have to remember, it can be asked for 1 mark question. When the temperature or pressure increases, the interaction between the molecules increases. Similarly, when the temperature decreases, it is easier for molecules and atoms to settle into a more rigid structure. Now here I would like to give you the example of a teacher and students. Right? When the teacher is not there in the class, what happens? You people start moving here and there, right? Nobody, usually you don't sit in the place. You people start roaming around, you start peeping out of the window, or you start harassing your partner, right? Somebody starts peeping out of the class whether the teacher is coming or not, and all, right? Kind of chaos situation happens. Means the pressure and the temperature is ease, right? Temperature in the case that if the teacher is not there, you all are relaxed, right? So when temperature and pressure is normal, you all are also normal. But as soon as you think that teacher, or as soon as you see that the particular teacher is coming towards your class, what happens? The temperature and pressure increases. That what teacher will do? Oh my god, she has seen me, he has seen me, principal sir has come, he has seen me from there, and so on, right? So same thing is happening here in case of particles of matters also. If we increase or decrease the temperature and pressure, it is going to affect their positions, right? When we increase the temperature, what will happen? The particles which are there, they will start moving here and there. Why? Because the force of attraction which is there in between them, that is going to be broken, right? So because of that reason, when we increase or decrease the temperature or pressure, because the force of attraction through which the particles are bonded together, those bonding or that bonding is being broken, and due to that the state of matter will be changed. Okay, hope you can understand this concept, that how temperature and pressure will change the state of matter. Let us proceed further. Here I have given you the simple example which you have seen in your day-to-day life also. In the first picture you can see the ice cubes. On keeping it outside the fridge, we get water, and when we keep this water in a vessel on the gas stove, what we will be able to see, on increasing the temperature, this water will get converted into water vapor, right? Now let us see what are they known actually scientifically, right? When ice is getting converted into water on heating, it is known as melting or fusion. When we increase temperature of this water, and when this water gets converted into water vapor on heating, that is known as vaporization, right? Now if I am going to cool down this water which is very hot, what will happen? slowly and gradually the temperature will be decreasing, and we will be able to get the water back to its original state, and that process is known as condensation or liquefaction. Okay, and on further cooling, that is when I'll keep this water back to the fridge, it will get converted into ice, and this process is known as solidification or freezing. Right, so these are the four terms along with the definitions you have to remember. It is important for 1 mark question. Now sometimes it happens that solid gets directly converted into vapor, and vapor gets directly converted back to solid, right? This process of converting solid to gas directly without getting converted into liquid, it is known as sublimation. And when this vapor cool down, we will get back solid. That process is known as deposition. Now for example, you must have seen the bathroom freshener, right? 30 days, 45 days and so on. You must have observed the advertisement also, right? If you enter the bathroom, you only get the smell of that particular bathroom freshener, but no wetness is found in the surrounding where the freshener is kept, right? One more example, naphthalene balls. Naphthalene balls, those white color balls, you must have seen, and if you have not seen, please ask your mother. Okay, if you keep the naphthalene balls in the cupboard among or in between the cloth folds, you will be able to get the smell of naphthalene balls only, but no wetness will be observed or will be found in the clothes, right? Because those solid forms, they are getting directly converted into vapors only. One more example I would like to give you, that is of dry ice. Dry ice is nothing but carbon dioxide is only there, which is cooled at a very low temperature, right? You must have visited snow park, right? If you observe, right, if you hold that snow in your hand, but no wetness will be felt in your hand. Why? Because it is nothing but it is dry ice. Okay, now why it is why it is named so? Because it is completely dry, no wetness will be observed. The same dry ice will be seen in the big freezer of this ice cream parlor. Okay, you must have seen that white color ice in the inner surface of that freezer. Okay, so these are all definitions and example of sublimation. Sublimates are those substances which undergo sublimation. Okay, so please remember this flowchart is also extremely important. Now this triangle interconversion is given in your textbook also, you have to remember this as well. Okay, this one and the previous slide, they both are the same things, but this is shown in a proper way actually. Okay, now these are all the definitions given of each processes. You have to write all the definitions for 5 times. Okay, please go through it, learn it, and if you have any problem, please ask me. Okay, these are the definitions of deposition, melting point and freezing point. Okay, please remember this as well. Freezing point of water is 0 degree and boiling point of water is 100 degree Celsius. Okay, these are the questions given in your school assignment activities. Okay, go through each of the questions. If you have any doubt, please feel free to ask me. The last flowchart is given in your textbook also. You just have to fill up the name of the processes in A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay, that's it, nothing has to be done. And on 1, 2, 3 questions, if you have any doubt, please feel free to ask me. Fine. Let us discuss the SI unit of temperature. We know that temperature is measured in Celsius, Fahrenheit and Kelvin scale. Kelvin is the SI unit of temperature, which is denoted by capital K, and this is the relationship between Kelvin and degree Celsius. Please remember this. This is the table of conversion. Okay, for our 9th standard, only the ones which are highlighted with orange, dark orange or brown color, only those 2 conversion you have to remember. That too, here 0.15 is given, but 0.15 we are not going to consider for calculation for the conveniency. Okay, so when we will do the calculation, you will be able to see. Right, let us proceed with this. conversion sums. Okay, one thing I always tell my students that when we have to do the conversion from degree Celsius to Kelvin or Kelvin to Celsius, you only have to remember one thing, that when we write A to Z, what comes first? Celsius, that is C. When we write A to Z, what comes first? Letter C, and K comes afterwards. So C to K, when you go C to K, it's easy. But if I tell you people that write A to Z on a backward way, so it becomes difficult for us, right? So C to K is easy, so just add 273 in the question. And K to C means you have to come backward, bit difficult job, that is you have to do the subtraction. Okay, this is the common way I suggest my children to do the conversion sums, and these sums are extremely important. 1 mark definitely it is asked. Okay, so go through it, only 2 step, write the question along with plus or minus 273 and final answer along with the correct unit. That's it. 1 mark question is asked for sure. Few questions I have given for your practice. You have to do all these sums along with the previous ones which I have solved, okay, only one time in the tuition book. Okay, so that was all for today. Today we have seen the interconversion of states of matter, the different processes which are involved in this interchangeability. Okay, you have to remember each of the definitions, you have to write it for 5 times, and conversion sums extremely important from exam point of view. All these things, even definitions and all, right, 1 mark questions, and sums you will do only for one time in your tuition book, and send me by tomorrow evening. Okay, thank you and have a good day.